There's so many talks about Liverpool. There are late winning goals recently. Like, what can you say about that? Okay.
Well, for me, I think first of all, to become champions of England, you need to know how to dig deep to win games. You need to know how to play dirty games. You need to know how to get those last minute games, those last minute winners, in terms of goals. And I think Liverpool have shown that. My only issue with Liverpool is that they seem to be a side that will always concede goals. And I think when you come up against another high scoring team, it might become a problem for them. And I do not think that it is easy to sustain scoring last minute goals. I think you would get one ultimately, considering the fact that you always have to dig deep to score a goal or to score a winner. And I think Liverpool need to do better in terms of controlling the game, and probably putting it to bed earlier. So, I mean, I would just say that scoring last minute goals is not sustainable, especially throughout the season. It's a very, very long season. I think Liverpool potentially could play 48 games or more, depending on how far they go in the Champions League, the Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup as well. So it's really not sustainable. But I think the positive there is that they know how to get the wins when necessary. And considering the fact that they are in the English Premier League, which arguably is the most competitive league in the world, that factor is needed. That trait is needed because every point matters, especially when you've got teams like Arsenal and Manchester City breathing down your neck. So on one hand, you can commend Liverpool for digging deep and knowing how to get wins, but then again, I think they need to tweak their defensive weaknesses so that they don't get burnt out earlier than predicted in the season.
Okay. Dr. Fab, your thoughts on that?
Um, I think it's too early in the season to start digging deep. Personally, I think it's always. I mean, I'm gonna take the positive and the negative, right? So in the negative, right, I'll say it's too early in the season to start digging deep. This digging deep is always very necessary last 10 games of the season, right? Because it gives you that adrenaline rush going to those runoff and those self belief. I think it's too early. And my biggest worry from this is that it's not like the game is like a 1-1, 2-1 situation where like the game was close when it happens. Usually most of those games have been like Liverpool throwing 2 goals lead away. Like it's not just like a 2-1, then the other team equalize, then they don't dig deep, right? It's them throwing 2 goals away early, right? When I think of Bournemouth or think of even the last game, throwing 2 goals lead away and digging deep at starting of the season tells me more about the defensive frailties that I spoke about on our first podcast than the digging deep because yes, it helps. And to think about this positive about the digging deep is like it helps the player mentality going into some games where they will not give up because they know like they have it in them to push it down to the wire. That is the positive. But in the starting of the season, throwing away 2 goals lead, not once, not twice, I think it says a lot about the defensive frailties that are on the team. And they will need to sort it out quickly to have a very positive campaign because I'm telling you, especially when we get into those knockout competitions, right? Like the Champions League knockouts, and you're throwing a 2 goal lead away, it's harder to come back from, right? Than now starting of the season, people are still finding their feet. So, and I guess they too, they're also still finding their feet. But like I mentioned earlier on at our first podcast, I see a lot of defense, and this was even before the whistle was kicked for the first game. I see a lot of defensive frailties in Liverpool's defense. But so far they have been able to I guess like balance that out with those late victories and scoring more than the opponent. But you can't go through the whole season doing that. They will need to fix that out. So I guess that's my thought. The other is positive in the sense that it will help the players rather, and their mentality not to give up until the whistle is blown. But also doing it, starting that from the starting of the season, right? To start digging deep at the start of the season, um, it gives opponents a map work that okay, we can get at this Liverpool defense and actually score goals and put a shift in Um, it's good. It has its positive and it has its negative. For me, I think it still is early, and so there are more negative than positive right now.
Okay. Ekene, what do you think?
Juju, is Juju. Liverpool is in Juju. Okay. So I said earlier when we were predicting the game with Everton, I said the reason it seems Liverpool score late. Um, One, I think sometimes some of the decisions um that the referees take in their games seem different when compared to what they take in other teams' game. So the referees in England make a lot of mistakes. Let's be clear. But some people gain more from it than others, and Liverpool are up there. Um,
Wait, you're
my
saying the ref officiating is in Liverpool's favor. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't take words out of my mouth. I said that referees in England make a lot of mistakes, and Liverpool gain
Okay.
more from those mistakes. Like it's looking like Liverpool gains more from. There might be nothing behind the scene. There might not be anything, but Liverpool gains more from these referees. And when you now check the media attention to these things is like zero. The one that happened with Chelsea Fulham, they wanted to liquidate Chelsea that day. Like, left for the media, they wanted to close down Chelsea doors. They wanted to sack them from the Premier League. You understand? But other teams have had worse done to them. In fact, the following week, it happened to Chelsea. No media carried the news, nothing. Everyone was just quiet. They like what happened. So some teams have it easy, media wise, referee wise. Some teams don't have that luck. But aside from the referee or the officiating or the media, as I said earlier, Liverpool have this firepower on the bench who are looking like match winners. Rio is stepping up. Hugo can come in at any time and score. Florian is there. McAllister is there. They can throw in any combination on the front. They can switch anything. They can swap anything. They can decide to go three at the attack when they're losing. Van Dijk might decide to step up. And we know quite all right how he wins his headers and his knockdowns and all those things. But also, for you, it's not as if the game was 0-0 then you just decided to score late minutes. I think it only happened against this last one they played against Burnley. Other games, Liverpool will lead, they will concede, then they will go
And
score.
Arsenal.
It also exposes and Arsenal, yeah, it also exposes Liverpool's defense. So Liverpool's defense isn't at the place it's supposed to be. See, any day I keep on saying this, Kekes and Frimpong starting at the same time, left back and right back is not no it's terrible. It's a terrible idea. It's really I don't know. I'm not a coach, but from what I just see on the TV, it's not looking great because Kekes isn't that he's good, but not at that place. Then Frimpong is a mini Trent. In fact, Trent defends better than Frimpong. Frimpong like he just bombs forward, he joins the attack and all those things. So when you see that kind of game, once two of them are, that's why Madueke had some success with. It wasn't that of a success, but yeah, we could say he had success from Arsenal's point of view. We could say Arsenal said that he had a good game. We agree. So now Liverpool are those late winners are showing their the defensive side of their game that isn't up there yet. I know they have won some big teams, but further down the season, when teams can figure out how to neutralize their attacks, it's going to be tough for Liverpool. Those late winners won't be there unless the referee decides to push the ball inside the net. You understand? So now they have a lot of options. They have a lot of and another thing is when Klopp was there, Klopp was playing this high pressing game. By the 80th
Mhm.
minute, Liverpool players are tired. They are all tired. They can't go for these late winners. But this guy, he plays high pressing, but not the way Klopp plays. So they run, but they don't run as much as when Klopp was playing. So they could have enough energy to, score late winners. But these late winners they are going to stop soon. They definitely they will. It will not work. At a point, it will stop working because now you will see teams defend comfortably against. They will know what will hit them when it's 0-0 or 1-0. It just needs one autistic coach to just come in and overthink it and just neutralize you people, and that's it.